Hello, hello, hello! Hello, everyone!
Aloha!
We are back! Here we are again. I wish aloha! For those of you that follow us regularly, we just got back from Hawaii just a couple of nights ago, right?
Yep, just a while ago we got to visit our one of our farms over there, and it was a delightful trip. We have some really wonderful connections with farmers, and they're very kind to help and just let us kind of see what they have going and kind of teach us. I got to pollinate an orchid. How cool is that?
Seriously, we had so much fun walking around the plantation there and seeing all the vanilla beans. We posted this on our Facebook page this morning, so you've probably seen it, where the farmer actually helped us to pollinate one of the beans, and so he explained it perfectly, so we filmed him doing it. We put it on our page, but that morning that we were there, they pollinated over 1,000 vanilla bean orchids, and you think that those orchids would not turn into vanilla beans if a human being wasn't there pollinating them.
And they have to have it done by noon.
Oh, absolutely
then they close
amazing.
back up, and then it's too late. So the window is so short. It's amazing all the things that have to happen for us to have these wonderful beans.
So we had a wonderful time. It was great being there, great participating in that. The sad part is that the Hawaii beans are just about gone for the season, and they're not going to be back until we get to the end of the year. And so there's some seasons in some of these areas that we have to deal with, but that's all part of the fun. So let's see who is with us today. Lori, we've got Lori. Hello there.
I forgot my glasses. I can't see a thing.
We've got, get your glasses. We've got Chrissy. Hi. Where's everyone coming from today? We've got Taya. It's her first ever event. Welcome. We're glad to have you. Denise, hello. Chris, hello. First timer.
Hi, Sharon.
We love our first timers, our newbies here. Rhonda, her first event. Phyllis, hello.
Oh, it's
Emily.
her birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Oh my gosh, we've got someone here on their birthday. Happy birthday. I love that. Joining us on a birthday. Aloha from Hawaii. We've got a Hawaii person here with us. And on and on and on. Someone here just, let's see, Western Montana. Hello. We are so glad to have all of you with us today. We've got kind of a power-packed show today. We always feel so appreciative that we get you for an hour on Sundays. And it's your Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful outside.
It kind of is.
It kind of is.
And the flowers are blooming. I'm very happy.
And so we always are so happy to get you on a Sunday afternoon. So we try to go exactly 1 hour, and today we've got a bunch of different extracts that we're going to be making, and we'll talk about all of them here in just a minute. We wanted to give you a quick update. Our last live event was Super Bowl Sunday, so kind of middle of February.
Well, it was around Super Bowl.
Right around Oh yeah, it was the week after Super Bowl. You're right. We almost did it on Super Bowl Sunday. And as good as we are, we didn't think we could compete with the Super Bowl. So we went ahead and pushed it back a week. At that time, we had 56,000 members of our Facebook group. And if you're watching this right now, you're a member of our Facebook group. As of right now, we have 65,000 just in the last month and a half. 65,000, almost 66,000 members of our group, and we're so glad to have every single one of you with us. Our Facebook page, we're up to 98,000 followers on our page, and it's just growing and growing, and we can't believe it's grown as much as it has.
Well, vanilla is fun.
For all of you new people, Jill and I set out to just create an environment where we could share tips on extract making, and it has just grown into just this fun community of the nicest people on Facebook. So we love our new members.
The nicest people.
We love answering lots of questions. So all of you new people, feel free to ask lots of questions, and we'll try to answer every one of them. We'll answer a few of them here in the live. It's hard to see all the comments as we're going through it. And then after the live is done, the video will post to our Facebook group, so you'll be able to see recordings of it. And then it'll also post to our YouTube channel, just channel Vanilla Pura. We'll post it there as well, so you'll be able to see it on our YouTube channel. So subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us here on Facebook. You'll get all the tips and tricks and everything that we need, or that you need, to be able to make great extracts based on your feedback and everything that we're doing here. Right?
Yeah.
Have I said it all?
I think
it's all the business at the beginning, just like you've said enough. Okay, so one other thing, I just want to do a quick shout out. We rolled out a group expert program just in the last couple of months where we have invited 6 members of our group to be group experts. And so you'll see the little expert icon next to their name so you know when you're talking to an expert. We have criteria for our group experts to become such. One is they have to be in our group for at least 1 year. 2 is they have to be nominated at least once for free beans for kind words. They don't have to win, they just have to be nominated. And 3, they've got to be recognized at least once in our lives as a top contributor, which we'll be doing here and giving out some free beans at the end of the show today. And so with that criteria in mind, our first 6 experts, and you'll recognize these names, so we just wanted to personally say thanks, we appreciate it. Each, here's the list of who they are. Alan Clavo is our group expert, Debbie Perry Thomas, Lori Lanford, Michelle Pagetta, Jeff Sewell, and Ruth Ann Capen-Batten. And of course, we have to recognize Starlet, who is more than just an expert. She's a moderator in our group. She was like the first and a permanent expert, and so she's always included in all of these discussions. Starlet, we love you and thanks for all that you do. So, with the exception of Starlet, all of our group experts agree to be a group expert for 6 months. And during that 6 months, we send them $150 of Vanilla Pura gift cards that they can use to buy vanilla beans and things like that. And so that's just our way of saying thanks for having the icon next to your name. Thanks for being an expert. Thanks for sharing your expertise. And then we just say, hey, your job is to just be you. Because as you get to know these people, they're just amazing human beings. And so we just ask.
And they love vanilla.
And they love it. They all love vanilla. That's kind of if we're in the group, we all love vanilla.
Yeah.
So thanks to our 6 group experts and Starlet, our group moderator and expert, for all that you do. The first round of gift cards was sent out earlier this week. Next one will go out in a couple of months, and then the final one in September. And then in September, we'll be asking 6 new people to be group experts. So keep that in mind. If you've been with us for more than a year, if you've been nominated for free beans for kind words, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and if you've been recognized as a top 10 contributor, that qualifies you in your first year to become a group expert and be able to participate in the rewards program there. So thanks for all of our experts. We love you. Thanks for all you're doing. Okay.
Wait, I just have to give a plug for Michelle, who is in a semi riding with her husband, watching along with us. How cool is that?
Keep your eye on the road, hubby. So I'm glad that you're watching, but husband is not allowed to watch, right?
Yeah.
He can watch the replay later. But how cool is that?
Yeah.
On the highway.
Cool.
I love it. So we got people from all over the place. So
Yeah.
fun to get everyone together like this.
And we have newbies, and we have experts, we have everybody. I mean, there's so many people here with us. It's so fun to see all of you.
It is so fun. And so thanks for joining us, for being here in our kitchen. We try to make these kind of informal and just fun, as if we were just all here in our kitchen. This is where it all began. This was like 6-7 years ago where we had our very first extract.
First party.
And that's how this whole thing
Fun
started.
to all party together. Wish you coffee here with us.
Seriously. And we talked about this in our group. We're going to try to make it happen over the summer, where we want to go visit different members of our group and have extract making parties in your kitchens. And so look to see that over the summer. We're going to give it a try,
Yeah,
and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it works.
It would be fun to meet some of you.
It would be so fun to meet a lot of you in person. So should we get the itinerary for today? Should we jump in?
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else? Am I missing
I
anything?
think that's it.
You think that's it? Okay, so here's our itinerary. These are the things we're going to do in the next 50 minutes. One, we're going to make our first ever, as a group, we've made a few, but we're going to make our first ever cinnamon extract. We introduced in our co-op the Ceylon Cinnamon, or Ceylon Cinnamon, I was pronouncing it correct. We just introduced it, and everyone seems to love it, and so we wanted to make a cinnamon extract with you. We're going to talk about free beans for kind words, and one of you is going to win free beans. Then we have a spicy vanilla ginger extract that we're going to be making that has some really fun applications. After that, we're going to do extract with Everclear. We're going to talk about Everclear and why Everclear is something that comes up pretty regularly for a lot of people that like Everclear for a lot of reasons. We'll talk about it. Finally, we'll be doing alcohol-free vanilla extract. That's probably our number 1 or 2 or 3 request, is we get a lot of people that want to know if you can make extract without alcohol for lots of different reasons, and there is a way to do it, and we're going to talk about that in this show as well, which we're really excited about. And then last but not least, 10 of you are going to win free vanilla beans for being the top contributors in our group in the last 30 days. And so we've got the list of those 10 people. So by the time we're done, 11 of you will have won free vanilla beans.
I love it.
We love it. We love sending out our free vanilla beans. So I don't think we have any outstanding questions. Some comments. Love your expert program. We love our experts. That's the reason the expert program works.
We do.
Another first timer for St. Louis. Who's that? Deanna. Welcome, Deanna. We're so glad to have you. Connie, welcome.
Sylvania. Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Wonderful.
Sylvania, Georgia. Sherry
Welcome.
Slack. Let's see. Deborah Lane. Welcome. Geez, so many of you people. We just love it. Welcome. Welcome to our home. Welcome to our party. Let's begin.
Okay.
Cinnamon
let's do
extract.
Cinnamon. So, wow, you guys love cinnamon.
They love cinnamon.
Wow.
It's been kind of a fun add-on. So what we're finding with cinnamon is an extract that you can make while you're waiting for your vanilla extract. There's a whole world of extracts that don't take a year like vanilla extract does.
This only takes 4 to 6 weeks. So, I mean, it's not instant gratification, but compared to vanilla, almost.
Almost
right?
instant gratification. Exactly. And so let's dive in.
Okay, so go to our website. In the search bar, just put cinnamon extract. We actually have a few different ones on there. We are just going to make a small recipe here in our 8-ounce jar. Okay, so it's only really going to call for 2 cinnamon sticks and then 8 ounces of vodka. That's it. 2 ingredients. That's all you need. How easy is that?
Yep.
So easy.
Well, what we're going to do is it's the 2 cinnamon sticks we're going to cut it in half. 2 cinnamon sticks and 4 ounces of vodka.
Yes.
You normally use 4 cinnamon sticks and 8 ounces of vodka. But here's what we've learned is we like making lots of different varieties in small quantities of extracts because it takes a while for all of them to be done. And when you're done with that first round of extract, you're going to have things that you like and things that you don't like. And so the more that you have available to yourself to sample, then the more you'll be able to sort of hone in on what your tastes are without having to go all the way back to the beginning and wait again.
Yes.
So for all of you first-time extractors, we always recommend you can take a recipe, you can cut it in half, make lots of little small batches, try different spirits, different applications. So in 4 to 6 weeks when these are done, you're ready to go.
Yes.
So should we talk about the cinnamon a little bit?
Okay, so the cool thing about this is when we got these, we were like,
There's no
you know
smell.
what? These really don't smell that great. Are they really all that good? And then we learned a little bit more about it. And oh my goodness, it is kind of a little secret about these cinnamon sticks.
It is. So Ceylon cinnamon comes mostly from Sri Lanka. And the first thing you'll notice when you turn the cinnamon stick to try to look through it, you've got cassia cinnamon, which is very popular, and it's hollow. And the bark piece, all of these are cut from a tree bark, and it's very thick, so it's really, really hard to break.
Really hard, very, very thick.
These are a very thin cut, and so they fill the entire stick, so it's packed full of flavor. And so because it's full and not hollow, you'd think that it would be hard to break, maybe even harder than like the cassia cinnamon, but it's exactly the opposite. So first, you don't smell anything. And just like that, you break it, and what does that do?
Oh my goodness.
It releases...
Like, the fragrance is overwhelming.
It's beautiful.
So wonderful. And you think, you know, before you break it, you really cannot smell hardly any cinnamon at all. But once you break it in half, it's like the aroma just takes over. It's wonderful.
And with the Ceylon cinnamon, it's spicy, it's fruity, it's very floral and aromatic. Boy, it always reminds me of like Christmas time, holiday season, you know.
It's wonderful.
This is absolutely a beautiful, fresh scent. Ceylon cinnamon means true cinnamon. This is the reason why it's a beautiful. Now, cassia cinnamon has its uses too. We're going to talk about that in another show. But the Ceylon cinnamon is absolutely beautiful. So,
Yep.
the first step in making the extract is your 2 sticks of cinnamon. Break them in half. 2
Yep.
pieces.
Then you're just going to put them in your jar, just like that.
Just like that. That. And that.
This is like foolproof, you guys. You can't mess this up. Although I might.
Now this is an 8-ounce jar, and so we don't
Yeah,
even
so
need a measuring cup. We just fill it halfway.
8 ounces, yep.
Or
Right.
no, it was going to be 2 cups. So
now it's 1 cup.
2 cinnamon
8
sticks,
ounces.
8 ounces.
Yeah,
Thank you. You're
so
correct. My fault.
We have 2 sticks of cinnamon to 8 ounces of vodka.
That is a correction. I was incorrect earlier in the show. Thank
It's okay, I love you.
you. So 2 cinnamon sticks to 8 ounces of
Yeah.
vodka.
So we're just gonna fill this. And this is 3 olives. I like it. It's a nice vodka.
It is. It's a decent vodka.
It's
Vodka.
middle shelf.
Vodka's
It's
tasteless.
not super expensive. It's not top shelf. but you know, if you drink vodka, use whatever you have in your cabinet,
Exactly.
right? Don't go out and, you know, well, I probably need to fill that up just
You're
a
going to top it off a little
more.
more.
Yeah.
There you go.
You guys, how easy is that?
And that's it.
And look, you have just created your first extract. And look how cute that is. How cute would this be for a gift? You know?
For like a wedding shower,
or what,
hostess gift,
well,
baby
when you're getting closer to kind of that fall, winter time where we're just craving cinnamon, how nice would that be? Just in a cute little bottle. How hard is that? You've got a couple cinnamon sticks, some
Very
vodka,
easy.
and you're done.
So what you do now is you put it on a shelf just like you do with vanilla extract in a cool, dark place. Keep it away from the sunlight. A lot of people like to give it a shake. You know, you can come in once a day and shake it just because it's fun to do, and you can kind of see the vodka changing color and taking on the color of the cinnamon. And then in 4 to 6 weeks, you're ready to go. Now, how do you know if you're ready to go? You taste test the cinnamon extract the same way that you taste test vanilla extract. Put a couple of drops in milk. We've got a whole thing you can look up taste testing on our website. Put a couple drops in milk, stir it, take a sip. If you like it, if the cinnamon is coming through in a real powerful way that you like, then you're finished. If it still is too weak, let it go for another couple of weeks.
Yep, you decide, 4 to 6 weeks. There's kind of a window there. And then, you know, think about what you want to use this for. Anything you add cinnamon to. I've added it to my coffee, lattes, any kind of baked goods, like, and it's your cinnamon. You know exactly what's in it. It hasn't been diluted or additives. You know, it's pure.
It's pure cinnamon. Cinnamon rolls, French toast. You think of holiday baking, your breads, your banana breads, your pumpkin spice. It can work really well in the pumpkin spice anything, and the gingerbread anything. Cinnamon is just such a complementary flavor that it has applications virtually across usually anything that you think is sort of sweet, right?
Yeah.
Could you put this on your proteins, like a seared protein, like we're going to talk with the other, or is this?
No, we
Maybe
might
we
want
give it
to
a
try
try.
it.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
So that's it. Let's see. Are there any questions?
How easy was that? You guys can all do this.
What do you use the cinnamon extract in? We just talked about that. No, on this one, do you put vanilla with the cinnamon?
You
can. And you've got to wait a lot longer, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
But in this particular one, we're doing cinnamon only, but a cinnamon vanilla blend
It's lovely.
is lovely.
It is lovely. You do have to wait longer. So the reason we didn't put vanilla in here is we wanted to show you an option that you could have something finished much quicker.
Yep. And a lot of people say, well, if it's going to take 4 weeks or 6 weeks, my event is coming up tomorrow, you can still give this as a gift, but you'll just have to have a little note that says it'll be ready in 6 weeks, because it's really fun to even watch it.
I have done that actually with vanilla, where I'm not quite ready. My beans, you know, it's not quite ready to use, and I'll just say, keep watching it. And they actually think it's fun, and I have gotten a few friends that have come over to the group, and now they're, you know, addicted, and they're in the rabbit hole because they're like, this is so cool. So, you know, it doesn't have to be finished. You can put it on there and just let them know, hey, watch it, see what happens.
Yep. So the cinnamon sticks, the Ceylon Cinnamon, someone said, where do you get them? They're all available on vanillapura.com. Right now they're within our co-op. As we build more inventory, we'll make them available in retail as well, but you can find them there. Hallelujah, says Connie. We're with you. Go cinnamon. Wonderful. Robin, hello. Liz, hello. So there we go. Our first extract in no time. See how
Just like
easy
that.
extract making is. And it'll kind of lead you to this false sense of like, this is the easiest thing in the world. You just put cinnamon and booze. But there's a lot of detail that goes into the finished extract of how do you know when it's done, what kind of cinnamon to use, breaking it before you put it in, and that'll keep you from wasting 4 to 6 weeks to realize that you didn't have enough alcohol or you didn't have enough cinnamon to begin with. And then how to do the taste test to make sure that you can get it right. But we love cinnamon extract. Extract making begins this easily.
Yeah, this is what we want to show you, that it begins so easily. And my son loves to put vanilla extract on his French toast in the morning. But how cool would it be to just add, you know, some cinnamon and vanilla, and then you've just got the perfect combination.
Oh, someone just said, I wonder how it would be in oatmeal. I think it would be wonderful. I'd like to add it to my coffee, someone says, and baking.
It's wonderful.
Luann says that, or Luann says that. It's wonderful. Just a million different applications. So this is how it begins. All of you new people here, you're like, that's the easiest thing in the world. But then you're like, what if I put a vanilla bean in there? And then what kind of vanilla bean? And what if I use a different kind of spirit, like a rum instead of a vodka? And what if I
Makes it
use
a
like a
little
bourbon
sweeter.
or a brandy or a cognac? And that's when you really start, as our group members say, welcome to the rabbit hole. Because it begins right there, and then we're going to get real complicated.
Yeah.
So, speaking of a little more complicated, why don't we set up for our next extract?
Okay.
I think we've asked or answered a lot of the questions. We'll try to get back and respond to some of these comments later on. But right now, while we're setting up for the next extract, we're going to announce our winner of free beans for kind words. So first free bean winner coming up right here. For those of you that have been in our group forever and ever, you know every single Friday we put up a post in our group that's called Free Beans for Kind Words, where members of our group nominate other members. You can't nominate yourself. They nominate other members to win free vanilla beans, and they nominate them based on helpful posts or exhibiting patience and answering questions. Anyone that was helpful or kind during the week in any way at all, they get nominated by other members of the group. So this is something that you as group members, you decide, and we just sort of watch as the moderators and the admins of the group. And it's our favorite post every week. We love every Sunday morning. It's the first thing we do. We look at all of the nominations over the last couple of days to see all the great people that are nominated. We see lots of people that are nominated regularly because they just spend so much time in our group, and we love you, and they're so helpful. And then we always see a lot of new names as well, people that we haven't met yet. And it's fun to see the new names pop up and to see these other people that are sort of rising within the group. And so
it really makes Sunday mornings quite fun.
it does. It's our favorite Sunday morning activity. You just read that post. So there were lots of nominations. This is where we have to interject because we can only select one. And if you don't win and you were nominated, nominate the same person next week because we do this 52 times a year, every single week. And so come back, nominate the same person again and again until they win. And if there's new people, nominate them. The more nominations, the better. This week's winner of Free Beans for Kind Words was nominated by multiple people.
Yes.
And so we're very excited to announce that Bucella Marie, I hope I've pronounced the name right, Bucella. It's a beautiful name. It looks Italian, I guess. And you were nominated by lots of different people for the kindness that you've exhibited over the past week. You're a relatively new member of our group, but you just jumped right in and you've made lots of posts and you've helped a lot of people out. They recognized you throughout the posts this weekend. Yeah. So congratulations, email us and we will ship you out your free 1 ounce of grade A Madagascar vanilla beans. So thank you. We'll do it again next week. So again, if your person didn't win, nominate them next Friday. Every Friday we make that post. So we're excited to see who's nominated next week. Now, next segment. Ready? We're flying. This is awesome. We are going to jump into
spicy vanilla ginger extract.
So this is for all of you new people. Now we're kind of like halfway down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, we're getting a little more complex, but it's not that bad. You can hang with this.
Yes. And if you're lost on any of this, you can go to our website, vanillapura.com. We have an extract making guide center with all of the different topics that talks about the different kinds of spirits that we use, why rum, why bourbon, why vodka, why whiskey, why tequila, why brandy, why cognac. They're all there, different brands that we've reviewed. So enjoy the reading. We're just going to jump in with a specific spirit and some specific applications. We may not get into the detail as to why we chose each because we've had previous shows on that topic and they're all found in the Extract Center, our YouTube channel, everywhere. So we're just going to jump right in, right?
We're going to jump right in.
Let's do it.
Yep. Okay, so also if you want to see the specific recipe, it is on our blog. Just in the search bar, put in spicy vanilla ginger extract and it will come up. So if you really want to follow along, it's there. If not, look at it later.
By the way, I love everybody saying congrats, congrats, congrats. They're so excited for our winner of Free Beans for Kind Words. Laura, I see you. I think Laura, if I recall, is joining us from Great Britain.
Yeah.
Right. So it's late there, and you're up, and you're with us. So we're so glad to see you. That's so nice of you to wish congratulations to Bucella. That's very sweet. So we've got people from all around the world with us right now. Okay, let's jump in.
So I'm going to start with this bigger jar.
Why a bigger jar?
Well, because I like to have a little extra room. and the vanilla beans out of this wide mouth jar than it is to maybe have to really fight something smaller like this or this one.
So when we're making something new with lots of components, sometimes it's nice to use a big jar like this. If we're going to gift it, we put it into decorative jars when we're finished.
Yeah, so what I will do is once this is finished, I will strain it out so there's no like sediments left in from maybe the ginger and the peel. And then I will, you know, kind of just divide it up into the cute little jars and then I'll gift it out that way. But for now, I want to put it in this big jar so it's just easy to take out all of the bigger pieces.
There you go.
Okay, so the first thing is...
And this is the this is the alcohol-free low-carb extract. No, I'm sorry, this is the ginger spice extract,
Yep.
forgive me.
Ginger spice.
That is on our website. You
Yep.
can search for it and pull it up if you want to follow along.
Yep, this is fresh ginger. I love ginger. I just want to smell it all day. It just smells so lovely. So it's 2 cups of ginger, and it's just sliced. And this is one of Starlet's recipes on our blog. It says you don't have to peel it, just slice it. And so I really roughly slice this. I really do not take a lot of time because I just want the ginger flavor to come out. And then when it's ready, I'll probably just take it out and then give it out as gifts and then use it. So
go.
I'm going to put the 2 cups of ginger just right into my jar. It's just so easy with these wide, we call them mother jars because they're so big, but it's, you know, it's like, I think it's 1.5
This is a 1.5 liter jar, something like that, 1 liter, 2 liter.
Okay, so now she says we need 4 vanilla beans. And, you know, we were trying to decide which vanilla beans do we want to put in here. Because, you know, we have a lot of options.
We have a lot of options.
But we decided on Veracruz because it has kind of a little bit of a spicy kick to it. And with the ginger, I just think that would complement it just perfectly. You can choose any bean you like. You do not have to use the Veracruz, but we just thought, hey, you know what? Let's just...
Veracruz is fun.
Spicy kick might just be the perfect.
Yep, so for the new people joining us, you know, vanilla beans are like coffee beans, and where they're grown, they'll all taste differently. And so Mexican vanilla beans are Veracruz beans. They have that spicy vanilla kick.
Because of the soil they're grown
Because of
in.
the soil that they're grown in. Same kind of species, but where they're grown makes a big difference. And so it's perfect for ginger. For most people when they begin, Madagascar is their bean of choice because it's traditional. It's that creamy, buttery vanilla that we're all used to.
It's a safe place to start.
So often when we're experimenting with new extracts and new ingredients that are not vanilla beans, we'll use a Madagascar or an Indonesian, those that are sort of basic, traditional, because we kind of know what to expect. And it isolates the vanilla variable, so the only real difference is the new ingredient that we're adding.
Yes.
But in our case, we've made this already with, I think this was a Madagascar one. Or was that a Mexican one as well? I can't recall.
This was Madagascar.
That was Madagascar, and now we're going to try a Mexican.
Yep. Okay, so, you know, you'll get your beans, it'll be bean day, it's like the best day ever, you get these in the mail, it's like, woohoo, I've waited forever! I can finally do something with these. So, you just open them up, and, you know, this is for our newbies. I know if you've been with us for a while, we do this all the time, but we have so many new people that I want you to know that there's so many different ways to put this bean in your jar, okay? First thing is you can just tie it in a knot. All I'm doing is I'm tying it in a knot, like I would like my shoelaces or something. Just put it in there like that. You can just tie a few.
And we do that because
we do this because we can save the caviar for later.
we're not cutting the bean open.
We're not cutting it open, so for something later.
And we're making it small enough. We're making it small enough so it can be submerged in the alcohol.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, and so I also want to slice it. I'm just going to slice it down the middle, just like that. And I'm going to cut it just so it fits really nicely in here. And that's one more bean here. I'm going to, you know, the recipe calls for 4 beans. I have a problem. So I'm going to put 6 in because, you know what, I love vanilla. That's how we got here, right?
That's how we got here. And with most vanilla extracts, we always go by weight. With some of these specialty recipes, we're trying to highlight the ginger and use
Yeah.
vanilla as an accent. And so that's when sometimes you'll see vanilla recipes that call for a bean quantity instead of a bean weight. Weight is always best because it's consistent. So you kind of have to be the judge. If your beans are really small, sometimes they grow smaller, sometimes they grow bigger. If they're really small, you might want to use a few more than what the recipe calls for. If they're bigger, you can use a few less. It's always up to you. And like Jill says, we like erring on the side of more beans because we just love vanilla.
And I do love ginger, but I don't want to lose that vanilla aspect to this. So I may err on the side of going a little heavy on vanilla.
Christy just asked, is it okay to use pint jars with metal lids or should I use swing top? You can use pint jars with metal lids. We've seen instances where the metal will rust. Sometimes a pint jar, if it's really old, sometimes pint jars are made for dry storage and not for wet storage. So you want to make sure that the jar that you have is a wet storage jar, not a dry storage jar. But the fail-safe is just to get some wax paper, put it over the top, and then just screw the lid over the wax paper so the extract doesn't come in contact with the actual metal, and that should get you there. You should be just fine.
Yep.
It's really that simple. Yep.
Okay,
Great
so
question.
we are going to add spiced rum to this one. This is Kraken Black Spiced Rum. This is what Star recommends. So I'm going to put 12 ounces of spiced rum.
Hey, Jeanette just messaged. Jeanette from here in Utah, coming home from Hurricane to Garland. We know what that is. So.
We do. We're neighbors.
So she's watching on the road as well. Lots of people watching on the road. Be safe. Hope you had fun in Hurricane. It's not, when you're in Utah, it's not hurricane.
It's hurricane.
It's hurricane.
That's right. You got to say it right.
So what are we pouring here?
12 ounces.
12 ounces
Good
of...
thing I have my glasses on.
Yes, exactly. So this is the Kraken, 12 ounces, spiced rum.
Yeah, and
There we
because
go.
I put a little bit of extra beans in here, I'm going to just add just a titch more to cover the top. Just the displacement of the beans. Sometimes you need just a little bit more to add. I'm going to push that down like that.
There you go.
And I really want to be able to maybe add to this. If I really like it, I'll just add some more ginger and vanilla and we'll keep going. The recipe here says to fill it and then you are going to just kind of shake it a little bit. And
then we let it sit.
you just let it sit for a while. And then it's up to you. There isn't, kind of with vanilla, we're like, around a year, but even sometimes 9 months, it's okay. With this, you're gonna have to decide what you like. Do you want more of the ginger coming out, or do you want to wait a little bit longer so more of the vanilla comes out? Or you can even remove some of the ginger if you want more vanilla. So it's kind of just like a dance. What do you want to do here? Do you want more ginger? Do you want vanilla? And that's what's kind of fun because it's going to be yours. You can follow this recipe, but what is it that you particularly like? Do you like the ginger or do you want more of that vanilla?
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So the recipe is written with the assumption that you wanted ginger more than vanilla, and so it asks to just let it sit until you like the taste. That could be just 3, 4, 5 months. But if you want that vanilla to come through, it takes about a full year for the vanilla to extract, and so you could wait up to that long if you needed to get that vanilla taste to come through over part of the ginger. So
Yeah.
it really is. It's more craft than science, we always say. And I think it's safe to say that almost no two extracts are the same when you get into people's homes, because
which is what's so fun about
that's
this.
what's so fun. The different
That's
spirits
right.
and the different beans, they all make them differently.
But when you're ready to use this, I would suggest that you strain it out because you're going to have, and I already see it, there's a little bit of sediments here rising to the top from the ginger. We didn't have to, the recipe doesn't call for you to peel it. So some of that's going to come to the top. It's super easy and quick. You just, slice it up, put it in. But when you're ready, and if you want, put it in some smaller jars and gift it. I don't know if you can see how cute this is, but if I got this for a gift, I would be really happy.
It's fun.
It's darling, and it looks homemade, and it looks like someone, had some thought to it. you know, and I don't know, those gifts always seem a little more special to me.
There you go. So a couple of questions that are coming up. Can you reuse the beans after these are done? You can. They'll have a taste of ginger inside of them. They will have absorbed some of that. But you know, if the beans have only been used for 2 or 3 months in the ginger extract, you can absolutely take those beans and put them in another. But just again, that ginger taste is going to transfer with the beans. So just make sure that what you're using them in, you're okay with that little bit of ginger aftertaste. Which actually, as I'm saying that could be really good.
Well, I actually have done that.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh, with it.
I've actually just used the ginger and the vanilla, but with clear rum. I used Captain Morgan. I did this in, I think it was beginning December, and it's just Captain Morgan with the vanilla beans and the ginger. I didn't use the spiced rum, that's the difference here. And this is lovely on seared grilled meats. Like tonight we're having salmon, and I'm gonna just put a little splash of it on our salmon before I grill it. It's really good if you put it in pulled pork in the crock pot, or stir fries, just splash a little bit of it in there. I'm not sure about how the spice rum would taste with the seared meats, but if you do have spiced and you do have clear, you can do both.
There you go. A couple of really good questions. Can you use cork if you're a cork top, if you're giving the bottle away? You absolutely can use a cork top. We use cork tops for just about everything. Corks do deteriorate over time, so we always just recommend using a brand new cork top. We've never in 7 years, 6.5 years, however long it's been, we've never seen a cork deteriorate, but we know that happens. Spirits with high alcohol content use corks, and they sit upright where wine tips it down. The evaporation of the spirit inside the bottle, it all keeps the cork healthy, so you're fine using a cork. What else? Want to make sure we answer questions. Can you dry the ginger after extracting and use it in something else? Oh, Mary, that's a great question. And as you know, Mary, she's been with us for some time. We never waste anything here, right?
No,
when
we don't.
anything is taken out of the extract, it does have either a dry or a wet use application that you can explore.
Yeah.
Always leave some headspace in the extract. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's a great tip. It can expand. It needs to breathe just a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you need to fill the jars all the way to the top? No. You can use big jars and just fill them like we did here. As long as all of the ingredients are submerged, you don't have to fill the jar. So that's why we started. We've got this huge jar. We're making just that much because it's easy access, like we said. And then when we're ready to gift this, we'll pour it into cute little, decorative jars to give it out.
Or if I'm just using it on the counter, I don't want this huge jar on the counter, so I'll switch it to a smaller jar that is very usable. I usually put the pouring spouts on top, so it's just, I can splash it into, what I'm cooking or baking, and it'll be really easy. So if you're gifting or it's something you use often, we put it into smaller jars. But, when you're actually adding things, sometimes the exact measurements of the recipe aren't going to work because the displacement sometimes is a little off. So just make sure that you're covering your beans and the ginger, and you'll be good.
There you go. Paul Gingrich is here. Hello, Paul. If you look for the Gingrich online, Paul put together a great summary of an extract that he likes to make, and we named it after him, the Gingrich.
And it's with the sous vide, and it's a quicker method if you're interested in getting the vanilla done.
And the rabbit hole gets deeper. You mentioned sous vide, and now there's even more. Here we go. Others use moonshine. Moonshine's great. You just have to be cognizant of the alcohol content, and so we're actually going to talk about that in our next segment. I'm a big freeze dryer. Can vanilla bean go in the freeze dryer for later use? It's oily, and so when freeze drying product that has oil on it, it's going to be hard to get like a pure freeze dried vanilla bean. Freeze dry will remove the moisture, the water, but it won't necessarily remove the oil. And so I haven't seen a successful case where a vanilla bean has been freeze dried. It will remove all the moisture, but it just depends on where the oil's at within the dryer and whether that moisture can escape through the oil. You may or may not. So give it a try and let us know what you think. If you've got one of those at-home freeze dryers, we'd love to know what you think. In the market, rising price, able to get many beans out of our extract product. In a market of rising prices, we're able to get many uses out of our extract products. Yes, Roxanne, that's exactly it. Beans are used, when you're done extracting, you take the beans out, you dry them in the oven, you can turn them into vanilla bean powder, you can put them in your sugar, you can make vanilla sugar.
You can put them in your mother jar.
You can put them in your mother jar to get more extracts over time. You can, if you didn't cut the beans open when you made the extract, you can cut them open, harvest the caviar and all that goodness that's
Put
still
that
inside
in your
the
ice
bean.
cream.
And you can put it in your ice cream. You can make vanilla bean paste. So we never throw anything away. We're just preserving, using, expanding all these applications.
Yes. But if all of this sounds super overwhelming, take a deep breath. It's all on our website. If you want to look up powder, put it in the search bar. Whatever you want to look up, put it in the search bar. It's probably on there.
It is on there,
It will give you a clue of where to move forward.
There you go. So look on the search bar. We have a powder recipe. We have a sugar recipe. It's all there.
Yeah.
Okay, next segment. I think we've answered everyone's questions, well, as many as we could in that segment. We're moving. We are like an extract making machine today, aren't we? In fact, we've got 2 more extracts to go.
Yeah, we do.
And 20 minutes, we've got plenty of time. This is going to be perfect. Let's talk Everclear. Everclear is something that lots of people like using. We've got a bottle of it here. It's very affordable. Everclear is pure grain alcohol, and it is really high alcohol content. So this particular one is 190 proof. For those of you that don't drink or you don't use alcohol a lot, to find out the alcohol content, you just cut that 190. You cut the proof number in half. So this is 95% alcohol, which is you double it. That's 190 proof. So this is almost pure alcohol. Now,
nobody's drinking this stuff.
Those of you,
maybe some people.
Well, yeah, depending, right? So someone asked the question about moonshine. Can I use moonshine? So this conversation is for you as well as it relates to moonshine, because oftentimes with moonshine, the alcohol content's really high. So a couple of points. Why we love, people like moonshine or Everclear. One, with Everclear specifically, it's tasteless. And so it's not going to really hinder the taste of the vanilla bean. So with Everclear, that vanilla bean taste by itself is going to come through. Whereas like a bourbon or a rum, you're going to get like the smokiness in the bourbon. You're going to get some smokiness and the extra sweetness of a rum or a cognac. You're going to get the fruits, the brandies, the grapes, the different things that you put in brandies and cognac. But with Everclear, it's just pure grain alcohol. So your finished extract will really only include the taste of the vanilla bean if it's done right. So that's one. 2, it's affordable. With Everclear, this big bottle here only, I believe, was like $19.95, and it's 1.75 liters. So it's a lot of alcohol for a very low price.
Yeah.
And so for that reason, people really like using Everclear and moonshine, sometimes for the same reason. Number 3, the reason people like Everclear is because it allows you to be more scientific with your extract making. So we know this, that the FDA definition of vanilla extract requires that there's 35% alcohol in the extract. So that means for FDA approved to be called pure vanilla extract, if it says pure vanilla extract on the label, it should mean that it's 35% alcohol and the balance is water. I mean, that's essentially what you're getting. So when you see water in your extract recipe or ingredient deck, when you buy it from the grocery store, it has to be that because you've got 35% alcohol. The remaining 65% has to be something. That something is usually distilled or purified filtered water. So you need to make sure when you're using Everclear that you get your alcohol content down to a minimum of 35%. Now, we have been making extracts for years and we've tried different applications. Our window of success is usually 35% to 50% alcohol. So that's 70 proof to 100 proof alcohol is kind of our window of acceptability for making a really good extract. So anything 35 to 50% alcohol, 70 to 100 proof, you're going to be okay. So with Everclear, it's 190 proof. So we got to water that down.
Yeah, there needs to be some dilution.
And so some people like doing experiments. They say, well, I want to try one at 35%, one at 40%, one at 45%, and one at 50%. You can do that. You can be really scientific with Everclear, and that's why it's so popular. If you put your beans directly into Everclear or moonshine with the alcohol content that's too high, you're going to just fry your vanilla beans. Starlet, if you search on our website and you search for the term Everclear, you'll see a summary that was put together by Starlet where she's actually doing a test of beans in different proofs that are really high, and you can see that after extended periods of time, they just don't extract. So the higher alcohol content will kill your beans. So that's why that 35 to 50% is really, really important. But people may want to experiment between the 35 and 50% to see what the differences are in their extracts.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the quick Reader's Digest version. For those of you who know what Reader's Digest is, I know.
Yeah.
Of what Everclear is good for. So with that being said, we wanted to make an Everclear extract so you can see how to make it here.
And then Luann asks, has anyone ever tried this and succeeded? Lots of people have. On our group, you can ask this question. You will get tons of responses. A lot of people have tried this and they prefer this method. And so just, ask that question and you'll have all kinds of people giving you all kinds of answers.
And Lori makes the point, Everclear is also great for fresh fruit extracts. And in the case we're using fresh fruit, they're already full of water and moisture.
Yeah.
And so when you put the fruit in, that's like a very high water content already, it's going to naturally dilute the Everclear so that you're going to be able to have a great extract. So great point, Lori. Thanks for bringing that up. It's great for fresh fruit extract. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and make one here. So we've got 190 proof. We're going to make this simple. We're just going to cut it in half. So we're going to take our 190 proof and we're going to make it, what would that be, 85 proof? And so, or excuse me, 95 proof, which would be 40 Sunday afternoon. My math brain is not working.
He's still in Hawaii.
I'm still in Hawaii. So we're going to make a 42.5% alcohol content extract by taking our 190 proof Everclear. We're going to add 1 part Everclear to 1 part filtered water, and then we're going to put our beans in, right?
Yep.
Did I say that correctly?
You did.
Okay.
Hey, this again is for some of our newbies. Again, how you decide to do your beans, you can slice them right down the middle so that caviar comes through. These are our new Congo beans. I thought these would be kind of similar to the Ugandan because the region is not too far.
Right.
They're nothing like the Ugandan. There's a little bit of a smoky fruitiness to them.
Yeah.
And oh wow.
They're it's dates and figs and kind of a dried Mediterranean fruit are the descriptions that we're seeing.
Like the smoky aspect to it is just, it might really be good with some bourbon.
Yes. We've really tried hard, as a side note, to introduce as many new vanilla beans as we can for all of you. And just in the last 2 months, I mean, we've been working round the clock. We've been able to get Vanuatu beans that have already sold out. We were able to get Tanzania beans, Congo, the Virunga we called it. And just, we're going to keep going all around this beautiful planet of ours and finding great suppliers where we can bring in high quality beans and introduce them to you so you can have the opportunity to taste vanilla from all around the world.
Yep.
And so we're playing with Congo right now.
This is Congo here.
The Virunga.
So I tied this one in a knot. All you have to do is, it's just a regular knot, like you tie your shoes, right? So I put that in there. You can use the caviar later when you're done with this. Put this in your baked goods, your ice creams, summer's coming up. I can think of all kinds of some wonderful ice cream recipes.
Nikki makes the comment, I wish you had a combo where you could get a few variety of all the beans all bundled up. We are working into that. With our systems and everything in terms of how we process and package all of our vanilla, it's a little tricky to make sure that we do it right. But we are working on it because that is a pretty common request. We're trying to figure out how to get you, like a sample pouch, if we could. And then make sure that when the sample pouch arrives, that every single bean is labeled so you know which one's from Congo and which one's from Madagascar, which one's from Mexico. So you're not just getting, a bag of beans and you're not sure which is which.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how to do it, how to label it, how to make sure that it's a super fun experience for you in your home.
Yep. Okay, so I already showed you can tie it. I did cut them just in half and put them in, so some of the caviar will come out that way. And then you can just slice it right down the middle, leave it whole, or cut it in half. This is kind of a short jar, so I like to cut it in half. But, cutting it right down the middle like this just lets all that caviar out, and you're going to see all those specks in your extract. And that's what I like to see.
The specks are just they're a fun aesthetic that you get with homemade vanilla extract if you like the specks. The actual vanillin, the flavor compound of the bean, comes out of the pod itself, not the seeds. It actually comes out of the pod. And so by slicing it open, you're allowing the alcohol to touch the outside and the inside of the pod all together to extract at a little bit of a faster rate and to maybe get even a more concentrated sweetness.
Yep.
So there we go.
Okay, so we've got the Everclear. We're going to do 4 ounces of filtered water, and then we're also going to do 4 ounces of Everclear.
There we go. So we're cutting it in half, and that will give us exactly 42.5% alcohol.
This is my water.
So that's the water. And again, we're just using filtered water. You use distilled water. We just, as Jill mentioned previously, we just want to get all those minerals that, depending on where you live in the country or the world, you might have calcium or other minerals inside your water. We like to get rid of those, so you've just got pure, clean water. And then the balance, we don't even need to measure because we know that this is an 8-ounce jar. There we go. And that's it.
We're going to leave room at the top.
We're leaving room at the top.
Air.
There's a little lip at the top where you can see where to stop that gives you sort of that half-inch,
It's probably about a half-inch.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we flip it over, and we are good to go.
There you go. Just
And
like
isn't
that.
it beautiful? In
Yeah.
fact, you know what? I'm going to bring, it's time to do an up close and personal because we haven't done this yet. I want to show you how long has it been since we did the cinnamon extract? Like 20 minutes?
Yeah.
So it's been 20 minutes and you'll see.
There's a, I don't know, I hope you can see, but there's a tiny little bit of an amber color to the alcohol already.
So just like that, you can see how it's already extracting.
And you can also see how it floats. Once it gets wet, the cinnamon starts to float. So if you didn't fill up to the top, you may need to add a little bit if the cinnamon is sticking out.
And what will happen is the cinnamon will actually absorb everything.
And then it'll sink.
Ultimately, as this one, it's going to start sinking down.
Yeah.
Someone asked the question, dark bottles versus light bottles. We've answered this in a previous, and you can look it up. But dark bottles essentially designed to keep the UV lights out. So as long as you're storing your vanilla in a cool, dark place away from sunlight, we like the light bottles because we like the clear bottles because we like watching them extract.
And we like how it looks when it's finished.
Okay, let's see. I'm so excited I can hardly contain myself, says Sherry. So are we. We love this. Let's, very good. I think we've answered everyone's questions about Everclear. I don't want to skip, but
No,
we're running out of time.
Someone asked if you want to strain out the specks. I never strain out the specks because that's what makes it look like it's real vanilla. You've got those real vanilla specks in there. If it bothers you and you don't like the specks, then strain them out. But I love them.
These bottles, she asked, are they 8 or the 8.5? We see this with bottle manufacturers all the time. They say 8 ounce, it's really 8.5. They're usually made in milliliters. Both of these are 250 milliliters, and so if you do the math, it's like just a little over 8.5 ounces. So we'll say 8 ounce, 8.5 ounce. They're all 250 milliliters.
But that difference really doesn't make that much of a difference. If you just consider it 8 ounces, you'll be good because we do leave a little bit of a space at the top.
There we go. So let's go really quick. We're going to move ahead because we've got like 7 minutes left, and we are going to show you how to do a non-alcoholic extract using food-grade glycerin. That's a request that we get all the time. Can you make extract without alcohol? The answer is yes, you can, and this is how you do it. Let's jump right in.
Right. This is our first slide where we haven't gone into depth about a certain type of alcohol. And so we thought it would be the perfect time to show you that, hey, if you don't want alcohol for any reason, there's an option for you.
There you go. So let's do it. Let's grab it. We've already pre-measured it so we can be as fast as we can here.
Yeah.
Because we're using glycerin, we wanted to use Madagascar vanilla beans for the reasons that we mentioned before. Madagascar is sort of our baseline. And so when we're making a new extract, we try to isolate everything, isolate bean taste. So we go to Madagascar, we're going to put those in. Again, you can use Mexican, you can use Indonesian, you can use the Papua New Guinea planifolia, they're close. The Tanzania is really buttery as well. We typically go to like a Madagascar.
This is Madagascar because we've never tried this before, and anytime I'm trying something new and I'm not sure, I really kind of like to just stick with the Madagascar and something very experimental because I know it's pretty standard. And you know, it's a very standard vanilla flavor.
There you go.
So here we go. I'm just gonna cut these in half just really quick for time's purposes.
We're not going to slice these. We're just going to cut them right in half. And so to make sure that they're fully submerged in the solution once we put them in.
And whatever you like to do, you've seen it. You can tie them, you can leave them whole, you can cut them in half, you can slice them down the middle. It's whatever you want.
Now, food-grade glycerin is pretty highly concentrated, and so for the same reasons that we add water to Everclear to sort of loosen up the concentration, we've got to do the exact same thing with food-grade glycerin. And so like you'll see in the recipe, the alcohol-free, this is called on our website the low-carb alcohol-free extract. We add the 1 pint of the glycerin and then 6 ounces of water to sort of dilute it to allow the flavor compounds of the vanilla to sort of come through the more watered-down solution.
Yep. Okay? So this is 1 pint of food-grade vegetable glycerin. And then it's 6 ounces of water. And I'm just going to stir it up. It's definitely thicker than alcohol.
It's much thicker.
Yeah.
There's another reason that water needs to be added. Again, just like in alcohol, if you're using a bourbon, right, and it's 40% alcohol, it's 60% water, we have to do the exact same thing in the glycerin.
Yeah. Okay, so I always like to add my beans first because, again, there's that displacement. I'm not sure how much I'm getting. I might need a titch more, and it makes less of a mess, too. I'm putting it in a bigger jar because there's a lot of shaking that we're going to do, and maybe later I want to add a little bit more to it and wait and kind of create a little glycerin mother jar.
So the bigger jar just gives us lots of flexibility to play around. If we want to change it or adjust it in the future, we can do that.
Yes. So
okay.
I'm just going to add the glycerin in the water. This is 2 ounces of beans. This recipe is listed on our website as the alcohol-free extract or the low carb because you're not getting any carbs from the alcohol. It's just the glycerin. On the recipe it says about 7 to 10 beans. But because of how much glycerin we're putting in, we're just putting for us, we like to put in a little extra beans.
Yep.
But according to the recipe, Starlet says 7 to 10 beans will be just fine, which is 7 to 10 beans is about 1.5 ounces. So we put about a 1/2 ounce extra into this. So it's up to you what you want to do here.
Yep. Laura, great suggestion. We totally hear you. In terms of moving things over, we'll try to slide things out of the way when we're using the cutting board so you can see how that works. And in the next show, we'll do that even more. That's great feedback.
Thank you.
We're trying to get it all done. We don't have all of the cameras that like Good Morning America has. We have our phone that's set up over there on a stand and some lights to make sure you can see our faces.
Yep.
But we love any feedback that you can give us on sound, on look, feel, anything that we can improve on. We're always trying to improve. So thank you, Laura, for bringing that up. I couldn't agree more. It's great feedback. Like Sherry said, anytime you want to say you guys are awesome, you can do that too. Thank you, Sherry.
Okay, so we've got the glycerin and we've got the water and the beans. It says that once a week for 4 weeks you want to give it a good shake. And so I kind of like that I have room to really shake it up. So I'm just going to shake that up, and then you're just going to put it in a cool, dark place. And then once you've gone a month, then you're going to shake it up every 2 to 3 times a week. And then over time, you'll see that the glycerin will turn dark. It's not going to be as dark as your extract with alcohol. It'll be a little lighter, but it will still turn colors. It will still be dark. And the only way you're really going to know if this is ready is you're going to open it up and you're just going to smell it. And if it's very strong vanilla flavor, then you know it's ready. If you're not getting a lot of vanilla, then you need to wait just a titch more.
So there you go. And then we're going to come back and we will test all of these in a future live like we like to do. In our last live, we did all the tastings of extracts we made a year ago and had a lot of fun there. You can see it, the replay on the YouTube channel. But we'll come back and we'll try these as well. So there we go. That was a lot of vanilla extracts in a little amount of time. So again, kind of circle back where we started. We always recommend if you're just getting started, make a lot in small quantities. So try lots of different beans or flavors or different spirits. If there's something you think you're going to be interested in, go ahead and give a lot of them a try in small little jars. That way when they're finished, you can have, and by the way, this is fun, have a tasting party with your friends. It's a reason to get everyone over. You can blindfold them. You can put them in different glasses. Only you know which is which. And you can see if your friends can guess the taste of the difference between like an Indonesian bean or a Mexican bean or a Papua New Guinea bean or a Ugandan bean or Madagascar, and then all the different alcohols. And so give yourself a gift, and the gift that you're going to give yourself is lots of options. So when your first round of extracts are done, you can do lots of taste tests to find what you love.
And I'm just saying, in the party, you better bake something for them to eat with whatever's your favorite.
Absolutely.
That would be torture, right? Or a drink, or whatever it is. But you gotta have something that's your favorite that you can share with everyone.
Patty says she made her first extracts today, and her hands still smell like vanilla. Isn't it wonderful? We love that.
It smells for a while, doesn't it?
Well, we're going to wrap up because we're out of time, but before we do, we want to announce our 10 winners of free vanilla beans. So these are the top 10 contributors to our group. This list is created by Facebook, so we don't create this. Based on your contribution, how many likes you get, how much interaction you create when you make comments, all of those things factor into who the best contributor, the top contributors are. We're going to send all of you, if you can email us after the show, we're going to send all of you a free 1 ounce of Madagascar vanilla beans to say thanks for your contribution over the last 30 days to our group. So, number 10 is, she's going to get 2 sets of beans today. Buchella Marie.
Buchella Marie, congratulations!
You are new in our group and you're already a top 10 contributor.
She's on fire.
And so she's checked 2 boxes of qualifying to become a group expert because she's now a top 10 contributor, and she was both nominated and she won free beans for kind words. So you're going to get 2 ounces of Madagascar beans. Number 9?
Nancy Ripley Neal.
Nancy, congratulations. Shoot us an email and we'll make sure we get the beans out to you. Number 8, Krista Howard. Krista, longtime member of our group. We love you. Everyone here knows who you are because you're just so good. Roxanne Young is number 7. Again, Roxanne,
wonderful.
we love you.
Roxanne.
Thank you so much for all that you do in our group. More beans coming your way. Lori Lanford, we love you, Lori.
6.
Yeah, one of our group experts, and we love Lori. Thank you, Lori, for your contribution. Debbie Perry Thomas, another group expert. We love you, Debbie. Thanks for your contribution. Anne Bouchon.
Anne Bouchon is new.
She's new, and I think she won free beans for kind words recently as well. So you qualify now to be a group expert once you've been with us for a year. Congratulations. Connie Robinson Alexander.
She's new too.
Connie, welcome to the group. Thanks for your contribution. Number 2.
Kathy Donaldson.
Kathy Donaldson. We shared some emails back and forth this week. And Kathy, we love you, and thanks for sharing via email, and we enjoyed our discussion, and hope you're well, and congratulations and thanks for your contribution. More free beans coming your way. And our number 1 contributor over the last week is Diane Cagiel. Diane, congratulations.
Welcome.
Way to go. Number 1 contributor over the last 30 days. Thank you. Thanks to all of our group members. Thanks for making our group the place that it is. I think we're the only group on Facebook where we really work hard to make sure there's no meanness. And sometimes it can happen on a post, and we try to get rid of those pretty quickly. But everybody is just super kind and helpful. All of you new people, feel free to ask questions. Everybody apologizes when they ask a new question. You don't have to apologize in our group. We expect new people to come in all the time that don't know anything about extract making, and you're surrounded by 60,000 plus people that can't wait to help you and to give you the answers that you need.
And we want you to feel comfortable to be able to ask those questions.
Yeah. And just, on a personal level, we love being in our group every week. We love interacting with you. We love getting to know all of you. We really feel very lucky that a little vanilla bean has sort of brought us all together. And it's just one of those special times in life. And so thanks to all of you for all that you do. When we set out to start the group, it wasn't to, be as big as it is and be built around just kindness. It just evolved into that because of the people that you are. You just started doing it, and we kind of just followed you because that seemed to be what everyone just naturally did within our group. So we're so glad to have all of you with us. We're so grateful for our group and for the interaction we get to have. Thank you all. Thanks for your questions. Hope we answered them all. And we will do this again shortly, another month or so.
Yep.
And like we said at the beginning, we hope to do them in your homes, and we'll let you know, and we'll be reaching out to some people to see if we can get that arranged. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.
Yep.
Anything else you wanted to add?
No.
That's it.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Thanks for all that you do. Thanks for joining us in our kitchen today. Have a great Sunday. Goodbye.
Happy extracting.
Happy extracting.